Now we will transfer from cylindrical coordinate to Cartesian coordinate and vice versa. We will obtain the transformation matrix which will help us to switch over from one coordinate system to the other coordinate system. Now these are relations between the unit vectors of cylindrical coordinate system and the Cartesian coordinate system. I have an arbitrary vector r which has three components rx, ry, rz along x, y and z direction in rectangular Cartesian coordinate system, and the corresponding components along r, phi and z direction in the cylindrical coordinates are given by r, r phi and rz. If I want to find out Rx, that is the component of R along x direction in the Cartesian coordinate system, I need to simply make a dot product between the vector R and the x unit vector itself, that is the R dot x hat. This dot product I'll need. So if I put R equal to R r hat plus R phi phi hat plus RZ z hat and make a dot product with the x hat with each term, this term will vanish because z and x, they are orthogonal to each other, so I am not bothered about the third term. I am left only with this first and the second term. Now we need to put the values of r hat and phi hat using equation 1 and 2. I have put the values of r hat here and the value of phi hat here, and with some using the orthogonality property of the x and y axis, this term is equal to 0, this term is equal to 0. I am left with this term, so I have obtained equation 3 which gives me Rx. This is equal to RR cos phi minus R phi sin phi. Rx is the component of R in the Cartesian coordinate system along x direction, and this is a relation between the Cartesian component and the cylindrical component. Similarly, Ry can be obtained by making a dot product of the vector r with y hat itself. I have written the expression of r using this equation. So I have obtained this equation, and again I have put the values of r hat and phi hat. So we have obtained relation 4, which is basically a relation among ry, rr and r phi. Similarly for rz, I can write this 0 into rr because rz has no component along r direction, no component along phi direction. It has component only along z direction. So rz equal to 0 rr plus 0 r phi plus 1 rz. Now I will write a matrix which will help me to switch over from one coordinate system to the other. Using equations 3, 4 and 5, I have obtained equation 6. And this is a transformation matrix. This matrix will help me to transfer from cylindrical coordinate to rectangular Cartesian coordinate. If I know the components in the cylindrical coordinate, then I need to construct this matrix and I will obtain the components along the rectangular Cartesian coordinates, that is Rx, Ry, Rz also. Now if I want to obtain the cylindrical coordinate system components, from rectangular Cartesian coordinate system components, then I need another transformation matrix. The procedure is the same, the motivation is the same. This time I need to find out RR, that is the component of R along R hat direction. Previously I found Rx, I obtained R dot x hat. Now I obtained R dot R hat. This is R value, expression of R in the rectangular Cartesian coordinate system. This is the value of R hat. I have obtained equation 7 because x dot x will give me Rx, otherwise this x dot y will give me 0, x dot z will give me 0. Similarly, yx give me 0 because of orthogonality, yy will survive only. This z hat dot y hat will vanish also because of the orthogonality. Similarly, we have found r phi also, and this is equation 8. And similarly, we have written the equation 9, which tells us basically the z component of R, and I have constructed this equation 10, which contains the transformation matrix from rectangular Cartesian coordinate system to cylindrical coordinate system. If I know the components in the rectangular Cartesian coordinate system, using this matrix I will obtain the components in cylindrical coordinate system. Now I will take an arbitrary vector. For the time being I am taking 2 dimensions only. I have restricted myself in the 2 dimension because z components are same along Cartesian and cylindrical coordinate systems. Both I have taken an arbitrary vector A whose x component is ax and y component is ay, and ax and ay are given like this. Now I need to find out this same vector in the cylindrical coordinate system. So using the transformation matrix from rectangular coordinate system to the cylindrical coordinate system, I can construct this equation, and I can construct AR and Phi also, which are equation 11 and equation 10. This is a simple matrix multiplication. I have written x square plus y square equal to r square here, which is quite standard. Now if I want to construct the A vector, then I need to write this AR dot r hat plus a phi dot phi hat. I have just written that 1 by r square is common in both, so I have taken this 1 by r square outside this parenthesis. This is AR, and this is along with this 1 by r square will give me a phi, and a phi hat denotes the direction of increasing phi. Now x is equal to r cos phi and y equal to r sin phi, and x square plus y square equal to r square, because r square cos square phi plus r square sin square phi will give me just r square only. Now if I use this equation 11, I will put x equal to r cos phi in equation 11. Now putting x equal to r cos phi in this equation 11, I have obtained AR equal to r cos square phi by r square plus r sin square phi by r square. Now if I take this, now this r and this r square will will cancel each other, and I will have 1 by r only, and I am left with cos square phi plus sin square phi, which gives me 1. So AR is nothing but 1 by r. This is equation 13. Similarly, if I try to obtain a phi, because a phi is this one, and if I put x equal to r cos phi and y equal to r sin phi here, to obtain a phi I will get 0. This is quite simple. Now what does it tell? That it tells that we do not have any component of the vector along the increasing phi direction. We have component along increasing r direction in the cylindrical coordinate system, and that component is given by r hat by r. This is not quite surprising, because I am getting a vector here. I am getting a vector which is crossing a point. This point in Cartesian coordinate has 2 coordinates, 2 numbers to specify its location, which are x and y in Cartesian coordinate system. And this vector, this is along the direction of increasing r, but it does not have any component along the direction of increasing phi. Phi is this one, that is this direction will give me the direction of phi hat. So this vector does not have any component along this direction. This vector has component only along this direction. Now what I would like to mention, that here a phi is equal to 0. That does not mean the angle phi is itself equal to 0, because phi will be obtained by tan inverse y by x or tan inverse ay ax. This will give me phi. Phi is not equal to 0 here, though a phi is 0. Let us discuss a problem of infinite line charge distribution. Suppose there is a charge distribution which is distributed from minus infinity to plus infinity along this z direction, and rho L is the line charge density, that is amount of charge per unit length along this z axis. And I am taking that at coordinate z prime, that is if I go upward from this xy plane, here in this xy plane z is equal to 0, z coordinate equal to 0. If I go a distance of z prime from this xy plane, I will reach this z prime coordinate. There I choose this dz prime element, infinitesimally small element, and I will take this charge distribution. Total charge in this segment dz prime is evidently rho L dz prime. I would like to find out field at any point r phi z due to this charge distribution at dz prime. As we have booked this coordinate r prime and r for source vector, source location vector, and as field location vector, I have already reserved these notations, r prime for source vector and r for field vector. Now this source is along z direction, so r prime is evidently z prime z cap, and this field point will have only r and z coordinate, because in this particular problem there is no change in the charge distribution along the direction of increasing phi. Let me show you. For illustration purpose, I am taking this liquid soap filled bottle. Phi means I am going along this direction. Suppose this is the direction along which the phi is increasing. But if I stand here, I will see the charge distribution which is the same as if I go to this place, I will see the same charge distribution, because the charge distribution is uniformly distributed along this z axis. So if I move like this, or maybe if I move like this, I cannot distinguish between the charge distribution. So there is a uniformity in the phi direction. I may change my position here, but I will encounter the same charge distribution as I change my position here. This is called symmetry of the problem. This symmetry is paramount to solve any electromagnetics problem. Similarly, there is a symmetry along the z-axis also. Suppose if I move here, I can see the charge distribution, that is the soap distribution. Same as if I move here, I will encounter the same soap distribution, liquid soap distribution. So as the charge is infinitely distributed along the z-axis, so if I move upward along the z-axis or if I move downward along the z-axis, the field will be same. So there will be no z dependence on the field also. This is z-axis symmetry of the electric field due to this linear charge distribution along z-axis. But if I move away from this charge distribution, I will feel less electric field. If I move closer to this charge distribution, I will feel greater electric field. So this electric field will depend only on r, that is it will have a dependence on r hat only, not phi nor z, neither phi nor z. Keeping these symmetries of the problem, I have written this source to field vector, which is r minus r prime, and which can be written like that. Now if I want to find out the electric field at this particular coordinate r phi z, it will be like this, because we need to make an integration over this dz prime, and the limit of the integration will be minus infinity to plus infinity, as the charge is distributed uniformly from minus infinity to plus infinity. Rho L is a constant because it is nothing but the line charge density. This is a constant, so it can be taken outside. 4 pi epsilon 0 is constant, so it can be taken outside also. The dependencies are on R and Z, but I have told you that because of the symmetry of the problem, there will be no phi dependence and there will be no Z dependence. So we can safely rule out this Z integration, the Z dependence on this integrand, and then integration on R gives me this result, and this is electric field at the coordinate r theta phi, which depends on r hat only, as I have just explained.